Hey folks, Jonathan here. Figured I probably had a couple people that was wondering why I hadn't posted a video in a few days, because I'd been doing one every day or every other day, but the main reason is this thing right here. This is a 2005 Equinox, and I bought this thing around 2007, and it was totaled. It was laid over on one side, and you can see I actually cut this vehicle just about all the way down the center, and took another one, the black one you can see on the right side. It was wrecked on the passenger side. So I took the two and cut them in half and put them together. And I never done anything with the roof. You know, this was just putting something together to drive. This wasn't, you know, something I was going to sell or I was going to put off on anybody or anything like that. And you know, it was never perfect, but we painted it, and I was going to do the top in like a bed liner, and because, you know, it's wavy, because like I said, both vehicles was rolled over, and I never found the right rack stuff for this side, so we just drove it. But it had 30,000 miles on it when we got it, or 29,000 and something, and that was, like I said, in '07. I had to wait a little while before I could fix it because I couldn't get any aftermarket parts. That hood wasn't even being made at the time, and they finally started making it. And pieces like this I bought aftermarket, but if you notice, there's no GM emblem there. It was about $100 more for the piece with the emblem, and of course I wasn't going to pay that just to get an emblem. But this is what has been holding me up for a few days here, and it's just about whipped me, and I'm not through with it yet, but I'll explain a couple things here. This vehicle here, what it is I can't get it inspected here in North Carolina. And when I'm say inspected, I mean safety inspection it would pass. When it comes to the emissions inspection, it won't pass. And the reason being is the check engine light's coming on, and it's throwing a code. And the problem there is when you go to drive this, you move it about 10 feet, the brake light, the traction control light, and the ABS light all come on at the same time. And it eventually throws an engine code, because check engine code, which actually comes back as a transmission code because of the traction control. So it's like a big domino effect. You got one thing causing the code, and it's making other stuff come on. And you know, it's been on the computer, it's been checked. You know, we've come back with codes, we've tried to fix stuff, and you know, it's come down to something, and you know, and I know I've talked crap about people being parts changers, but I have became a parts changer, and I totally understand why a lot of them do it. And you know, anybody can say what they want about the computers. You know, you plug it in, it tells you what it is, and you replace the part and you're done. That's BS, because we've been through it with this one. You know, I've checked the ohms on the wires coming from to the sensors. I've checked the sensor. I'm into this thing probably about $1,000 now, and that's parts changing. But now some of the parts I put on it wasn't parts that had anything to do with that. I put new struts on it, put one axle on it, went in and put new coil springs for the struts on it, and 2 new front wheel hubs, which through GM with the sensors was $466. I bought aftermarkets for the rear. I'm putting them on now. I noticed the wheel seal's leaking. We've let this thing sit for a couple years while my wife was driving something different, and I think that could possibly be what was setting it off. Low brake pressure or something like that, setting the brake light off, which set the traction control light and the whatever else was on, the check engine light, and the ABS light, and you know, everything just going haywire on it. And so now I've got new wheel cylinders. Hopefully this is the last thing I got to do. But this thing has ate up, you know, 2.5 days of my time messing with it, you know, trying to figure stuff out on it. And you know, anybody that says this stuff is right, you know, I've been all over the internet looking at this, and other people's had the same trouble, and they've taken it to the dealer 3 times, 4 times, and not gotten it fixed. So it's not an issue that you can just, you know, plug a computer in, it tells you what's wrong, and you know, that's all it is. You know, I wish the world was that way, but it's not that way. And you know, it could be anything from a broken wire somewhere, or a corroded plug or something like that. So we're going to keep messing with it, but that's why I haven't done any videos on the wrecker or anything, and you know, I really need to get this thing up and running. And then I've got a couple trucks of my own I need to work on, and tires to replace on a couple rollbacks, and I'm going to go ahead and try to get these wheel cylinders on and get them bled out, and then we're going to see if that solves the problem here. Still having the same problem. You get tired of spending money after a while, but I'm going to show you what it's doing. Start it up. Now if you notice, now the service engine soon light's on, and that's just a simple reset because we changed the oil and everything. We hadn't reset it. Right now the seatbelt light's on. No matter what you do, you can drive, you can sit here and steer it, do anything you want. You can go ahead and press the brake and put it in drive. Excuse me. And everything's fine. And I did learn one thing, but I'll show you what it's doing when I go to take off. You just take off, and there. Start getting that, of course, and let me see. You can see the ABS light, traction control light, and the brake light. And it'll quit beeping here in a minute, but they won't go off. Now if you turn the engine off, restart it, now they're off. But the only thing I have learned is if I put the emergency brake on and drive it, drive it some with it partially on, it still comes just right on. But if I hold my foot on the brake and drive a ways and, holding the brake pretty hard, it'll stay off for a while. Well, it's staying off now, but as soon as I let off the brake, it comes on. So I'm not sure if I've got another sensor, a brake pressure sensor or something like that that's giving trouble, but I'm going to go ahead and post this video anyway, and hopefully maybe one of y'all will have an idea of what to do or what's wrong with it or something, because I'm about at my wit's end with this thing, and I can't really spend any more time working on it just because of other obligations, and I'm tired of piling money in it. But I mean, it looks like that's probably what I'm gonna have to keep doing is add some more money to it. I'll try this one more time. All right, this is gonna be without holding the brake. Okay. And it just came on. And we'll shut it off. Restart it. Okay, now this is going to be with holding the brake. Well, I felt the ABS, the pedal actually vibrate a little bit like if the ABS was trying to work, and that's when it came on. So I'm wondering if I don't have an ABS controller of some kind or something bad. But maybe somebody can help me out on that, and we'll see how it goes. But I appreciate everybody watching, and hopefully I'll get you another wrecker video on, and I've got a couple other things I'm going to do videos on. But like I said, I've got a little work to do to the trucks, and it's nothing but changing tires and working on a little bit of lights and stuff. So that's not going to be that interesting. But I will, get back on the wrecker and get everybody some videos of it here very soon. And we've still got the rat rod, the motor to finish up and stuff with it. So I'm just waiting on a few things for it so I can do it the way I want to do it. So appreciate everybody watching, and hopefully we'll get this thing figured out. So if you got any ideas, I'd sure appreciate them, because I'm now an official parts changer. Thank you. Bye.